Jim Green and I'm a gunsmith. The name of my shop is Gunworks in Harrington, Maine. Today's rifle we're going to discuss and disassemble for cleaning is a Trapdoor Springfield. Nice old American military classic. These Springfield trapdoors came into existence in about 1873 as general issue, and they were used by the U.S. military, well, reserves, up until about the Spanish-American War around 1898. Caliber was .45-70. This particular gun here, I'm not going to be able to show you how to disassemble the full stock model. And a lot of these I see here in the shop have been chopped down and spoilerized, and they've been turned into hunting rifles, which is the case with this one. So what we'll do is go ahead and open up the action here. You cock the hammer back. Take a look up inside the chamber. Make sure it's not loaded because it'd really ruin your day to have one go off by accident. For the folks that's already got these guns and you've already shot them and familiar with them, the way you open your action is right here. You have this little locking lever. You just lift that up, just roll the whole thing forward. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking the front barrel band off. Now on these Trapdoor Springfield, this one's a little tight. You'll notice right here you got a little barrel band retainer right here. You push in on that. Get that side out of the way. Once you get that worked loose, you can go ahead and slide your barrel band off and out the end right there. Now, if you haven't have one with a full length stock and all the other stuff on it, you'll have to figure out how to get that off. I can't show you today because this one doesn't have it. Next thing you'll do is remove this large screw here in the back. You separate the two pieces out right there. Before we start pulling the breech block apart, let's go ahead and get your hammer and your trigger mechanism out. Get a better fitting screwdriver than that. You always want to make sure your screwdrivers fit, because the last thing you want to do is booger up the screws. It's going to be a pretty short video. These are real simple guns. In fact, the carbine version of this is what Custer's 7th Cavalry was using when they got whacked at the Little Bighorn. These are black powder cartridge guns, and I'd really advise you not to shoot modern loads in it because it won't hold up. And there's the phone ringing. So anyway, like I said, we're getting the screws out. You have these two here. We're not gunsmithing, we're just cleaning, getting a good detailed clean, because a lot of these guns are pretty grubby inside. Now once those two screws are out, there you have it. Now you can get to your lock mechanism and clean that out of there. I'm going to tell you right now, unless you have a mainspring vise and you know a little bit about this stuff, I wouldn't take this apart because you can get in a lot of trouble with that. Reason being, this mainspring is really strong. We'll set that off to the side to be cleaned. Now to get the rest of the gun apart, we're going to remove these two screws here on the trigger guard next. In fact, I'm going to break them loose before I flip them over and show you. This gun ain't been cleaned in a while. There's probably dirt and grime in this thing from the 1870s. Most of these didn't get a good cleaning, or haven't had a good cleaning in quite some time. Alright, we get them screws out of there. There's your trigger mechanism and your floor plate. Real simple trigger, real easy to clean. No reason you have to disassemble this. Unless you really want to take the butt off of it, there's a screw here and a screw here. All we're doing is just cleaning, but if you want to refinish your stock, go right ahead. Otherwise, just leave it on there. Now for the fun part. Now, we're not going to take the rear sight off. This is called the Buffington Long Range Rear Sight. If you'll see right here the adjustments, this is for your windage. Notice how when you turn that screw, how the sight moves back and forth. And your elevation adjustment's up here. But I'm going to say don't mess with it. Don't take it off the gun. Just flip it up and clean under it, call it good. Now, to get the rest of it out, you're going to open your breech block. You'll notice a little pin that goes through here and a little head on this side. We've got a long tail on it. We're going to drive that out next. Get your pin punched, tap that right on through. And you just pull your breech block right off the top of the gun. But notice though, when you pull that, you're going to have an extractor ejector on this side over here. So you'll see that when I pull the block out. See, she just falls right out of there. If you'll notice when you're reassembling, you got a little tip right here on this side. That'll go right back in this hole here. Didn't want to get ahead of myself on that. But you're going to have a spring and a detent that works out extractor and ejector right here. You can remove that if you need to. Okay, you can set that off to the side and you can clean everything inside here pretty well. Okay. Now this particular gun came into the shop with no firing pin, so I don't have a firing pin to take out of it, but I'm going to show you how to get that out of there anyway. I've got a firing pin on order, so what you're going to do is right here on the side, you'll see this little slotted screw. Take that out. Actually, when this gun came in the shop, there was a broken bolt stuffed up in there with some newspaper. Somebody apparently didn't want this gun to be fired, but I see nothing wrong with it. Just don't use any high pressure loads and you won't have a face full of scrap steel. Take that screw out. You can grab a hold of your little latch right there and pull that out. Right there's that latch, and just set that off to the side. Now, if you had a firing pin in there, at this point you can turn it over, shake the firing pin out. It'll be a little straight one on this particular model here. And the last piece to come out is a spring in the back of the bolt right here. Oop, drop the spring. But like I said, though, to get your firing pin out, you'll see one last screw on the underside. That's what's going to hold your firing pin to keep it from sliding out. You can remove that last and your firing pin will slide right out the back of the breech, or the breech block. And that's your 4570 completely stripped. Now, if you're curious to know what model number you got, some of them on the block up here where my index finger is will say 1873, others will say 1884. Your serial number on these guns is going to be right back here at the very back of the gun, right on top of the tang. And that'll give you an idea. There's a website you can go to, and albeit far from me to suggest anybody else's website. I don't want to get in no trouble, no liability issues, but if you have one of these and you need parts for them, or you don't want to know what year the gun was made based on the serial number, the website that I use to get parts for these is called Trapdoors Galore. Galore. So right here's your little pan, all your parts in it, your breech block. I'll get everything all gathered up together here. Real simple, very few tools. And that's your Trapdoor Springfield 4570 government model, disassembled for cleaning. Thank you for watching this latest Gunworks video. Down East Gunworks is a full-service firearm repair service for all your long guns and handguns that includes a high-tech machine shop for tooling obsolete parts. Old or new, if you have a firearm that needs attention, Gunworks can probably fix it, solve it, coat it, and make it work. If you're living in Down East Maine, come by the shop for a visit. We're located on Route 1 in Harrington. If you live elsewhere, you can reach us by going to the website www.downeastgunworks.com or call in the shop at area code 207-483-2175. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please leave me a comment and rate the video. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll always know when I've posted something new. And thanks again for watching.